for this gold Sigma. Had to get out my gold Fila period jacket. Oh, you know, I love to have fun, I love to live the part. Greetings, automotive enthusiasts. Today we have for you, I call this my Japanese princess. I love the weirdest cars, and I am absolutely in love with this car. It's a 90 Mitsubishi Sigma. The last year for this car, you know, started out as a Galant in the mid 80s, I think about 84, 85. Then it turned into the Galant Sigma, and then it just kind of went more and more upscale. Then in 1990, which is the last year for this car, it was just called the Mitsubishi Sigma. Love the Diamond Star motors in its finest right here. This is Mitsubishi back in the day. They were so cool. They were really contenders. I mean, they just had so much cool tech and styling and features, and they were good cars too. I mean, they were actually quality cars competing with Honda and Toyota and everything. And so this was, you know, the Hondas and Toyotas they were more understated, right? Kind of like Mercedes was to, you know, BMW and Jaguar and stuff. These are always a little bit more understated. But the Mitsubishi, they were wild. You know, they let it fly. And I just love this car. I've got an 88 Starion, and I can't wait to get these two together and do some photos with the two, because it's kind of like the ultimate 80s Mitsubishi garage in the day. You got the Sigma and you got the Starion. I just love these cars. This car here, this is effectively a one-owner car. It comes from Kentucky. This car has 27,000 miles on it. And it was a one-owner car up until October of 20. And then a gentleman bought this from an estate. And it's kind of interesting. I really love talking to the guy. He's a really big Mitsubishi fanatic. And he had this car, and he has a lot of cars. And it was a situation to where the car was so nice, he was afraid to hold on to it. He ran out of space to keep the car inside. And so he was just like, I mean, he loved and respected the car so much that he would rather let go of the car than to expose it to any environments. It's a really funny story that when I bought the car from him, and I actually bought this car literally, you know, without seeing it, just off of pictures, and wired this individual the money. And I mean, I rarely do that, but he was such a straight up seller. You could just kind of tell. I mean, I've been in business 30 years, and so I get a pretty good judge of character, but he was a really, really cool guy. And I could just tell he was just a passionate car guy. And it was so funny because I bought the car, and the weather was bad. And he says, well, I got the car, but he says, just all I ask is that you don't pick it up until the weather clears up. I just thought that was so funny. So we waited. He had the car for several weeks. We waited for the weather to pick up, and then I considered driving the car back from Kentucky actually, but I just don't have time. So I went ahead and just sent a shipper and had it picked up. So it's just the styling. I mean, it kind of looks French a little bit, you know. It really has some unique styling, and I don't know. I'm just enamored. It's a funny story. So, you know, I've had the salvage yard forever, and back in the early 90s, I had one of these in the yard for salvage. Actually, it's the only one I've ever seen. I had one as a parts car. I don't remember what was wrong with it. I don't remember if it was wrecked or blown up or something. But I remember going through the car just going, this is so cool. I was like, how cool would it be if you had a really nice example of one of these? And, you know, that's like almost 30 years ago. And I've never seen one since. That's when I saw this car. I just absolutely, I had to have it. And I am so far from disappointed. You could ship a car in, and you're always like, I mean, you're always nervous, and you know, usually it comes in and it's usually not quite, I don't always get the highest expectations, but this car absolutely just blew my expectations away and exceeded them. I mean, I don't want to oversell this car, but I'm telling you, I don't think you're ever going to find a nicer 90 Sigma. So let's go around the car and look at it. Like I said, no accidents, two-owner car, but it's effectively one owner. The second owner was just a short caretaker of the car. So my hat's off to whoever bought this car and preserved it. Man, you're my hero. I couldn't take care of a car this good, and I hope that I can do it justice with its time with me. So let's take a look here. And I mean, so lots of cars are like, oh, they got lots of flaws. And I don't, you can't hardly point everything out, but this one here, it's like you have to search for a flaw, and there are very few. It's almost perfect. And I really refrain from using that word. But here's your headlights and marker lights. The bumper, it's really cool here. I mean, look at the original texture on that bumper. It looks like it's on the showroom floor. Unbelievable. The marker lenses, I mean, there's no fading. There's no rock pits. This is just unbelievable. I mean, you always have pits and chips. I mean, there's always stuff. But this is as nice as it gets. Looks like we got one little teeny. I mean, you've got to look close. Right headlight, left headlight, pretty much perfect. The grill, there's no pits in the grill. No damage, just fantastic. Even, look at that, even the Diamond Star logo. I mean, they're always faded out. I mean, this car is obviously set in the garage, without a doubt. I mean, it's fantastic. Looking down the side here, the fender is pretty much, I mean, if you want to get super duper duper picky, there's a little nick out of the pinstripe right there. That's getting nitpicky. Looking at the wheels here, they are absolutely just fantastic condition. Got some Yokohama tires on here, and I love that they're Yokohamas, really goes with the car. They're still serviceable. They're a little old, but they drive perfect. Let me see here what the date code is. Well, I have to find it on one of the other ones there. Sometimes it depends on if it's inside or out. Sometimes they don't always show. Got the factory mud flaps here, which is really nice. I love it. Look at the fluting on the bottom of the moldings on the car. Kind of a plastic, let me zoom back here, a plastic side protected body panel. So really nice for protecting against door dings, but this car's never been exposed to anything. Even the chrome along the bottom of the car is immaculate. Check out the mirror. We got, geez, like I said, you gotta look, I mean, everywhere for just a tiny, tiny flaw. The hood is pretty much perfect. There is one little, so here's, and this is not a flaw or defect, it's just the way it is. But there is a little, oh, I can't even see it. Wow. So basically it has the glued on understructure of the hood, so it bonds. So there's a cross brace, and they glue it and bond it to the bottom of the hood. And sometimes it, as the car gets old and stuff, it can like pull or whatever. So it might pull down on the hood a little bit and make a little bit of a wave in the hood. And I'm not seeing it at all. There, look at that light. Okay, there's, there's, man, it's really hard to find any flaws. Wow, that looks really good. There you can kind of see, there it is in that Conoco sign. There you can kind of see where there's just a little tiny distortion. But I mean, it actually, where the hood bends down there, so there's a little teeny low spot right there before the edge of the hood. That's the thing I was telling you about. So there's just a little low spot in there, but that's, I mean, it is what it is. It's not really a flaw. It's just the way the car is engineered. Looking across the roof, it is absolutely immaculate. It looks like we got a bug passenger. Blow him off there. Not a ding, not a speck of hail. Has a really nice tint job on the car. It's a little dark, but I mean, that's really what's probably helped well, I don't think this car's really even set outside, but when you see the interior too, it's gonna blow your mind. But it has a pretty dark tint job, but it's in really, really good shape. If I were tinting the car, I probably wouldn't tint it that dark personally, but it's sure gonna be nice in the summertime when it's 100 degrees. All right, let's look at the rear wheel here. Again, the wheels on this car are just gorgeous. I love the styling, the finish. Okay, so we got 17 date code on the tires. So, I mean, they're a little bit old, but definitely not in any realm of danger per se. And it drives fantastic, so I have no interest in changing the tires. I would just burn these off, and if you're gonna drive it much. Wow. Looking down the side of the car, it's just, I'm sorry, I'm sounding a little bit redundant here, but I'm just truly in awe of this little car. I'm gonna put it for sale, but this one here is gonna kind of sit in my personal collection, looking across the deck lid here. So it'll be listed on the website, but I don't even really, be honest with you, know where to price it yet. There's no comparables. I don't even know. You guys, in the comments, find me a comparable car that's sold. You know, and don't show me that rusted out 100,000 mile piece of crap. That's not comparable. Show me another mint condition showroom 20,000 mile car that's sold. Because like I said, I may even put it up on Bring a Trailer or Cars and Bids or something like that. Just because, I mean, it's that kind of car. It's really special. Not another one like it that I know of, that I've ever seen. So looking at the deck lid and the taillights, I can't find a single flaw. Let's look along the bumper. And again, we got that nice texture. It's kind of funny. When I first walked up to this car, I thought, oh no, somebody repainted the top of the bumper and it's terrible. And I got to looking at it close. I'm like, holy cow, that's the original textured finish. And it's absolutely perfect. See, because you can't fake that. I mean, you can't, you know, if you get a gouge in this texture, you can't repair it. You know, you can't fill it and paint it. And just look at that, you can see, and just the shine on the top of that bumper. That's gonna be the place where the paint just really fails. But you can see it is like showroom new. And the lenses are perfect. I mean, there's always a loading scratch, you know. Not on this car. There's the other lens. You can see a little bit where the black is faded a little bit around the emblem. So you could probably take some sort of, you get really, man, you'd have to tape it off and be super duper careful, but you could get in there with a tiny little paintbrush and touch up that black. I mean, I might even have fun doing that. I mean, the car is so nice. It's worth the little details like that. You know, touching up that black, that'd be kind of fun. I mean, look at the plastics. The lights are absolutely showroom. And the tint's nice. I mean, there's no bubbles in it. It's really clear. Whoever tinted it did a really, really good job. I imagine it's been tinted for a long time. Right quarter panel and lens, absolutely flawless. Even the mud flaps don't even have a nick in them. Well, I don't know what to do with this car. There is the rear wheel. And looking down the side, it is, there is one teeny tiny ding. Right there, you see that white car and that pole? Yep, I mean, that's as minor as it gets, or as major as it gets on this car. There's the bottom. And then also to here, I mean, it's just underneath this, just absolutely, it's just mint condition. This car is gonna go to the Wizard next, Omega Auto Clinic. It's kind of interesting, it had the owner wouldn't sell it. It had a valve cover gasket leak, which all these old cars, valve cover gaskets, they get old and hard. And he was like, well, I want to change the valve cover gaskets before I give the car to you because that's all it needs. And so he went ahead and changed them. But then on the front valve cover, he didn't get the gasket. It kind of fell out of the track a little bit. And so right on the back side of the front valve cover, I'll show you where, but it leaking a little bit of oil. So I'm gonna take it to the wizard. And the gentleman had a great, you know, it's kind of nice. You know, he had great intentions there. Didn't want to give the car to me with any flaws, but he got a little error there on the gasket. So Wizard will take care of that and make this car perfect. Geez, look at that. It's just, would you look at it? Just look at it. Wow. Even the pinstripe. So I showed you one flaw on the pinstripe, and that's pretty much it. Truly amazing, people, really amazing. Well, let's, here's where it even gets even more fun. Let's go ahead and open up the doors and we'll take a peek inside the interior. All right, here is the interior. Now this is truly amazing. Look at our switches here. I love the oranges on the 80s cars, you know, the way they light up. I got some pictures in the picture gallery of at night with the gauges. Actually, it might even show up a little bit here tonight. I'll turn them on. But look at the carpets. Interior is almost flawless. So I'm gonna show you the seat. And these seats are unbelievably comfortable. So I'll give you the overview here. And they are absolutely just super soft. The leather is just nice and soft. There's a little bit of color wear right here. I'm gonna go ahead and show it to you, right? Because I mean, this is how I got the car, but I am gonna have Dr. Vinyl just touch up that color wear a little bit because I mean, it's so nice. Might as well just go ahead and, you know, and that'll help protect it too for the future. So we're gonna have those little spots and he just basically comes in and just airbrushes. And when I'll put pictures of that when it's repaired in the photo gallery, but literally it'll be like brand new. You'd be pretty impressed. Dr. Vinyl does amazing work. All right, actually I'm gonna edit in a little piece of video here. I got the, so since I did the first interior video, Dr. Vinyl has been by and I'm out here at the Car Wizards right now, dropping the car off. Dr. Vinyl has come and touched up the seats here. So I'm gonna show you what they look like now so you can see them in the video instead of just seeing the pictures. But anyway, there's that bolster. You know, it had that little color wear there in the leather, but there she is now, looking fantastic. So I just wanted to show it to you in this video as it is. Here's the floor. We got a few little spots we got to clean up on it. You know, a few little spots, but look at that heel pad there. Absolutely perfect. We got a motorcycle coming in here, so it'll be a little noise for a second. I got you. All right. So a little bit of rumbling here for a minute. Somebody's got a 70-degree day out here today, and so everybody's down at shift taking their toys out, which is the way it should be. So here's your little dead pedal. There's your brake pedal, and let's show you here. Look at that, there is zero wear on that brake pedal. There is the throttle pedal, and there is the heel pad. I mean, you can see there's not even a mark for the heel. The carpet, I mean, like I said, there's a couple little spots we got to clean up on it. We'll get our extractor machine out, and we'll get those looking perfect. But kind of just wanted to show you the car here before it gets to the Wizards. Kind of let you see it. So I'm gonna slide in. Okay, the steering wheel, we got the controls and they all work. Everything works in the steering wheel controls. All the buttons are super nice. There is no wear on the rim. Look at the gauges. They are absolutely 27,555. And if you look at that, crystal clear, and the graphics are just absolutely bright. Here, now watch this here. I got my light on, so it's gonna dilute it out a little bit. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to see the lights. Check it out here. We got our, see, how is that? What do you mean, 9-band graphic equalizer? Such a cool stereo. There are a couple of speakers that are blown out. You know, when I faded it and balanced and everything, I got a couple speakers that are out. So I'm actually going to go ahead and have all new speakers put in, just because it's got such a cool radio. I posted this on Radwood the other day. You know, I'm like, show us your stock rad radios. Does it get more rad than that? Boy, and especially when it lights up too. It's all orange and you can see everything. Look at the green and orange. 4-speed automatic transmission. It's a 3-liter engine and puts out like 142 horsepower. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is 168 foot-pounds of torque. So got lots of torque. So it runs really good because it only weighs about 3,100 pounds. So it runs great. 20 miles a gallon. You know, not a crazy super high gas mileage car, but this was a luxury sedan, and it's amazing. I think this was a full-size luxury Japanese sedan in the 80s, and now, I mean, it's like a Camry and a Accord are massive compared to this car. I mean, this car's about the size of a modern Civic now. It's funny how things have just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Climate control is perfect. You can see all the graphics. They're always worn, but nothing there. Let me look here. Just a little thumb mark there on the auto, but it is nice. All the climate control works perfectly. Cruise control, everything works. No lights on the car. It just drives fantastic. Cruise control works and everything. Now this car is really important. There was only a couple of options in this car back in the day. So you had there was some special touring package that had an electronic suspension. You do not want that because the parts are non-existent. So actually that was one of my things when I was looking to buy this car. I wanted to make sure that it did not have the electronic touring suspension, because that would basically render the car almost useless, because I can promise you, even with 20,000 miles, it's not gonna be good. It's gonna be bad. 4-speed overdrive transmission's got the little power button. Mirrors all work. The antenna, the motor runs, but you got to run the mast up and down, so the little plastic mast is probably broken there, so you kind of use the antenna manually. The motor does run, so you could change the mast out in it. That's not that tough to do. And then as far as options go, like I said, you had the touring package that had the electronic suspension you don't want. Leather was an option. What this car has is what you do want. And then the other option that this car does not have, which makes me really happy, is this is a no sunroof car. When you add the sunroof in this car, it kind of cuts down your headroom for tall people. That was one of the complaints back in the day, but this headliner is absolutely perfect. And like I said, so this car is spec'd exactly how I would want the car. Is no electronic suspension, leather interior, no sunroof. Look at these sun visors. They are absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. The dash, there is not a crack or imperfection in the dash. It is, even the felt on the side here, it's just nice. There's no discoloration, no sagging. There's nothing, the headliner's not sagging at all. This interior, so when I touch up a couple spots on the carpet and the seat, then this interior will pretty much be a 9.9 out of 10. There is one little deal here on the ashtray. The hinges broke on the ashtray, so the ashtray is flopping there because there's a pin that's missing. So you could actually you could fix it or try to find one, but I mean that's the only issue with the interior is the little ashtray lid is broken. And inside here, I'll show you the owner's manuals, the original owner's manuals in here, all the original stuff. Really cool. Just a couple pair of spare parts, little logbook, just kind of a neat, tidy. It's just the look of a car that somebody really took care of. All right, I'll show you in the back here. Door panel's perfect. Back seat's pretty much perfect. Seat belts are all good. There's our little lid. Little stain in there, but everything's so nice. The rear carpets are perfect. Couple little stains. You can see we got a little coffee stain or something. We'll get that cleaned up. but pretty much super nice. Show you the other side here. And door panel is perfect. Passenger, like I said, the carpets are pretty much perfect. Just a couple little stains to work on. And the seats. This seat over here is not really showing any issues at all, but I've got to show you this right here. This is so cool. Look at this seat. And I love the chrome trim. I just look at the styling, but check this out. Look at so this lever right here, I'm gonna back up. So watch what happens when I flip this lever. So if you noticed, this top half of the seat moves. Right? So you can move that, and then it has right here, you got your lumbar right there, and then you got your side bolsters that you can tighten and loosen the side bolsters. So isn't that cool, the adjustments on the seat? I just love it. Not as many adjustments on the driver's seat. And we'll pop the trunk here. And the trunk is perfect. It's something that you really can't see on the camera, but when you get inside this car, the smell of it, it's just that 80s smell. It smells like it came off of the assembly line. I don't know how to explain it, but those of you of the age that were around these cars when they were new, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But it just smells brand new. Check this out. Original brochure. Super cool. Kind of tells you about, oh wow. That's so cool. I haven't even looked at this. Look at that. So cool. Kind of shows the options. Like I said, I'm really happy that it doesn't have the sunroof. But these were really, you know, they were really good cars in the day. Here's all the technical specs. Pretty cool. And then we've got a really nice Chilton's manual, kind of as a covering, you know, catch-all of all of the stuff there. Lift up the carpet. And you can see. I haven't even lifted this up yet. Okay, here's our spare. Yep, look at that. Original spare. Little molding tits are still on it. There's the jack. Everything's intact. And there is the trunk. Yeah, there's the original VIN tag on the trunk. You can see all original. This paint is original. I mean, this car's never been touched, never been scratched, never been anything. So I'm gonna pop the hood here and show you underneath the hood. Now what I did here, I told you that there was some oil leaking and I didn't want to make a mess on the engine, so I shoved some paper towels in here, so looks a little bit funny. So it looks a little bit funny there, see? And you can just see where there's just a little bit of seepage right there at the valve cover, so I'll pan back here. But I didn't want that running down and making a mess on the engine, so I just stuffed some paper towels in there until I get it to the Wizard. But underneath the hood here, I mean, I haven't even cleaned it. This is how I got the car, and it's pretty much immaculate underneath the hood. A little bit of paint coming off the radiator. Now I'll show you this right here. So see, there's a little bitty drain hole right here. So we wash the car, whatever, water collects here, but then it drains. For some reason, they didn't put a drain hole here. And so water just collected and sat here. I mean, this is just surface, right? I'm gonna go ahead and take that little piece off right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and paint it. There's really no foul in that. You just paint it flat black, make it look original, may touch up the paint on the radiator, just cosmetics, but I'm showing it to you in its honest, original presentation. So I'd rather show it to you like this before I do it, because I'm always skeptical of cars that have had a lot of touch up and a lot of recon, because I really am skeptical of how bad it was to begin with. But this car, 3-liter V6 engine, runs absolutely perfect. Transmission shifts perfect. It's just wonderful. Here, let me pull the cap here. Let's take a look inside. Look at that. It looks brand new. Brand new inside there. I hope you guys are, I know I'm really getting kind of geeking out in this car and getting pretty deep into it. I hope you're enjoying it, because I'm kind of getting a little carried away, but hey, that's what I do. Just kind of a fan of these old cars, especially something like this. So that's our 90 Sigma. We're gonna get in this thing and take it for a drive and show you how wonderful it is on the road. So I appreciate you going along with the overview. So let's take it for a drive and show you how it operates. All right, we're strapped into the Sigma. Let's go. No traction control on this old guy. This is old school right here, right now. So for this gold Sigma, had to get out my gold Fila period jacket. Oh, you know, I love to have fun, love to live the part. Pull the shades off here. So out here on the road with the Sigma. This thing just drives fantastic. Only really issue is the power antenna. The little cable's broke there, so you kind of have to just operate it manually, and you can get it to completely stow. You know, when you shut the car off, kind of push it down, it'll kind of catch the take cable and pull it back in. Otherwise, it just stops about that high, so it's no big deal. But if you wanted to make it flush, you can get it flush. And when you want to operate the radio, just go back there and pull up on it. So just kind of a manual antenna. I'm guessing you could probably source a mast from somewhere, but it's not too big of a deal. I may or may not try to resurrect it, but just to let you know that's the way it is at this time. And so cruising down the road, I said the car just drives fantastic, shifts great, engine runs great, climate control works perfectly, heat and air. Like I said, on the stereo, I've got I think 1 or 2 speakers that don't produce any sound, so I'm going to go ahead and have a set of new speakers put in the car, or replace the ones that are bad. I'm not sure exactly which way, but you know, I want to be able to then enjoy this cool stereo. Love the dials, love all the analog. At night, this thing is so much fun to drive at night. Just that orange glow from the instrument cluster is just such a cool throwback vibe to it. I just love it. All the windows work on the car. Got automatic up, power mirrors. I mean, other than the oil leak that I told you about, which is where I'm headed right now, to go, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of cars. So he's gonna fix that front valve cover gasket for us, and that's pretty much it. I'll have him check the belts and hoses. I mean, even though this is an ultra low mile car with only 27,000 miles on it, you know, want to check and make sure there's nothing cracked or needing replaced that way. But really, I would get in this car and I would drive this car anywhere. If somebody was interested in buying the car, I mean, it would be one that somebody could fly in and drive home if you wanted to. But just take care of it, though. It is definitely an exceptional car. The condition and everything about the car. So, like I said, it's going to be in my personal collection. I will get it listed. I'll do a little bit of research on it. But what I'll probably end up doing is putting it on either Cars and Bids or Bring a Trailer. But up until that point, I'm going to kind of drive it and absolutely enjoy it. I can't wait to get some pictures of this car with my '88 Mitsubishi Starion. It'd be kind of fun to put these two together and do a little photography and some fun photo shooting with them. So, but yeah, I hope you like the overview of this car. Hope maybe, you know, got some nostalgia for somebody, little throwback. I mean, this isn't a common car even back in the day, honestly, so it's not like everybody had one. This was a rare car, you know, back then. They didn't sell a lot of them, and this is the last year of the run. So, but look us up, EuroAsianAuto.com, Euroasian Auto on Facebook. You know, like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Love when you leave comments. I always read all the comments and try to comment on them. And but you know, hit that notifications button. That way, when we get a car in, you'll be notified, and that way, you know, you'll be one of the first ones to see whatever it is that we're posting, because you never know when we might find your next dream car. Have a great day and happy motoring.